I'm new to YouTube Lives. My name is Joyce Fields. I'm 81 years old and I do lives. My last TikTok live was on Friday, August 29th this year. And I have done over 500 TikTok lives. I love doing these lives. TikTok implemented some new, or will implement some new guidelines, some community guidelines, violations, rules, and I will not be able to abide by them. They take effect this month, in the month of September, so I won't be able to abide by them. I think that they are really limiting freedom of speech, and so I left. And like I said, I've done over 500 TikTok lives, and this is my fifth YouTube live. So I was practicing between, I did my first YouTube live on September 1st, and I was practicing between August 29th and August 31st. I didn't practice on September 1st. I was live on YouTube on September 1st. So this is just my fifth YouTube live. And it's taken some getting used to because right now I have been on this YouTube live. Oh, thank you. Somebody joined me. I was just getting ready to say I've been on it for almost 2 minutes and nobody's joined me yet. So how did you find out that I was live? Can you tell me that? Can you answer that question for me? Tell me how you found out that I was live. Were you just scrolling through, or did you get a message that I was live, or somebody said doom scrolling? I'm 81 years old, so I don't know what doom scrolling is. So the word doom is not a good word. So how did you learn that I was live? Can you please answer me that question? Just type that in if you can tell me how you learned that I was live here on YouTube. As I said, this is only my fifth. I've been following you since TikTok. Okay, Carly, but how did you learn that? Oh, I know, because I said that I was going to be on the platform that rhymes with Boo Cube. Yeah, is that how you found out? I mean, is that how you learned? Okay, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get my subscribers up. Subscribing here on YouTube is free. On TikTok. Okay, so when you subscribe, I guess that you automatically get informed that I'm live. I guess that's the way it works. You know, I'm still learning this, but I did learn how to do a live. So, hallelujah. Okay. And thank y'all for joining. And please pass the word. I give out some advice that, I'm 81 years old, and I have been living the advice that I share with y'all since I was about 10 years old. That's a long time. And the advice that I share with y'all really works. I know because I use it every single day. And when I was doing my lives on TikTok, they used to flash a comment to the live creator, and it said, "We're notifying viewers that you're live." But they don't do anything like that on YouTube. So I was curious to know how everybody found out that I was here on a YouTube live. And I'll be doing these YouTube lives. I did TikTok lives Sunday through Friday, but I'm changing it for YouTube. Now it's going to be Monday through Friday. I'm of the corporate world. I'm a retired executive assistant. I got about 50 years in corporate America, so I want a 5-day work week. Not that I don't consider these lives to be work. I enjoy doing them. I just simply share the advice that I have lived in my 81 years, and I know that it works. And the advice that I share will help y'all to, the title of my lives is Undifficult Your Life. Undifficult your life, y'all. A lot of y'all are making so many choices and decisions and all of this stuff that are making y'all's lives more difficult than they need to be. Now, I'm going to share with you 4 pillars of advice that I have lived, that I still live, that will help you to undifficult your life. My man and I have been together for 68 years. You heard that correctly. 68 years. We've been married. We just celebrated 58 years of marriage on June 3rd. 58 years. But we've been together since we were both 13 years old. And I often tell him that I live an enchanted life. I live a virtually stress-free life. Hey, be humble. And so I'm going to share the information, share the advice with y'all that will help y'all to live a virtually stress-free life, to live an enchanted life. So every life has its problems, but you conquer them, you get over them, you get through them, always. Now, the 4 pillars that I share, pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I tell you how to do that. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you are 10 years old or older, hi, Angel, I tell you exactly how you do that. But I always start with the toddlers. And if you are raising toddlers, 2 and 3-year-olds, you'll want to hear how easy it is to teach them patience. Then pillar number 3, stay calm. Stay calm, y'all. There is tremendous power in the ability to stay calm. Now, throughout my lives, I do what I call helpful hand visuals. I call them that because it was this year. Spirit gives me these helpful hand visuals, and I relay them to all of y'all. And when I got to pillar number 3, Spirit told me to use the word neurons and to do the helpful hand visual. So when I did the helpful hand visual, it was a live that I did on TikTok this year, it blew a lot of the viewers' minds. And I did it for my man, and it blew his mind. And it blows my mind too, y'all. Spirit gave it to me. So stick around for pillar number 3, stay calm. When I do it for y'all, now, like I said, I call these the helpful hand visual because one of my viewers in one of my lives this year, her name is Jessie Knott, and she said, quote, "These visuals are so helpful," unquote. So I use my hands as well as the words coming out of my mouth to communicate philosophies, concepts, ideas, examples, and all like that from my mind to y'all's mind. Now, I know you got to see it to believe it, but when you see it, you will believe it, and you will see it if you hang around long enough. Now, pillar number 4, there are only 4 pillars, 4 pillars. Pillar number 4 is remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress. This temple thing is bothering me. Your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, all of that. And I'll tell you what those 4 words are when I get to the 4th pillar, okay? So, yeah, don't do that, be humble. Don't steal my thunder, okay? So now you know. I don't want anybody to say what they are until I get there. So, thank you. Now, every live that I do, no reason to I just don't, doesn't that make sense? I don't want anybody to say what they are if you already know. Then sit there and smile and be happy that you already know, okay? And it works. Okay, now, every live that I do, I talk about the 4 pillars because I think that they are very important. That is how you undifficult your life. But every live that I do is different because I also read an excerpt from one of the 11 nonfiction books at goodshortbooks.com, and the link is in my profile. The books are flying off the shelves, y'all, because people are coming on to my lives and they are learning about the books, nonfiction, 11 of them. My sister wrote 1 and I wrote 10. And Spirit did that. I had no clue I was going to write 10 books. I did not have an idea. It was not a wish of mine, a dream of mine, a desire of mine, a goal of mine, nothing. I wrote my first book on purpose. And I'm the oldest of 7. And I wanted to document the way our parents raised us. They did a fabulous job, we all think. There was never any sibling rivalry. I'm 81 years old, born in 1944. And it's a memoir. The first book that I wrote it on purpose because I wanted to document the way they raised us. And so when I finished the book, the manuscript, and I told my husband, I said, I don't know what to call it. He said, all y'all have that line of serenity running through you. So that's what I call the book, Line of Serenity. There are 9 different genres, y'all. Memoirs, parenting, relationships, children's education, fairy tales, bullying, original quotes, health, and spirituality. I normally read them, but I have memorized them now. But yeah, the books are flying off the shelves because people are coming onto my lives and learning about them and ordering them and enjoying them and reviewing them. But now, back to the fact that I do the 4 pillars, every single live that I do, because they are very important. Those pillars are the foundation on which you can change your entire direction in your life. For real. The 4 pillars. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. The way you do that is you write a program. The way you write a program is you say it out loud. Say it out loud. And this is what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. That's what you say. Now, you got to remember, y'all, there are only 2 attitudes that you can have. Only 2. Just it. That's it. 2. A negative attitude or a positive attitude. You don't choose to have a negative attitude. I am convinced that you don't choose it. Here's what happens. If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, and a positive attitude is a choice, you must deliberately choose to have a positive attitude. If you don't deliberately choose to have a positive attitude, you almost certainly will have a negative attitude. Because what I have observed, it's like a default. It's like it's a default, y'all. If you don't consciously choose to have a positive attitude, and the way you consciously choose to have a positive attitude is you write a program. And the way you write a program is you say it out loud. And here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. I'm going to repeat it. That's the program that you write. Say it out loud. And I don't care who's around you, because that gives you an opportunity to spread positivity. Here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Say that out loud. Take the steps to be on that positive attitude path. Now, from now on, that means no matter what your attitude was like 5 minutes ago, yesterday, last week, your program states from now on. That means from this point, from now forward, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. When you develop and maintain a positive attitude, all kinds of good stuff starts happening to you. All kinds of good stuff starts happening for you because you have a whole different outlook on life. That is what a positive attitude does for you. Hey, Shelster. Thank you. So, say this out loud. Now, a lot of people will say you say your programs in your mind. I say that is one element. When you say it in your mind, that's one element. When you say it out loud, that is three elements that you are involving. You speak it out of your mouth, that's one. You hear it with your ears, that's two. And then it gets plastered into your psyche. That's three elements, y'all, as opposed to one. So always say your programs out loud. And I'm going to tell you how you can write other kinds of programs. You can change your behavior by writing a program. It's just that simple. And that's why my lives are entitled Undifficult Your Life. Undifficult Your Life. A lot of y'all make y'all's lives more difficult by the words you choose, by the attitude that you have. You know, it doesn't have to be as difficult as a lot of y'all are making it. So I'm going to share advice with y'all that will help you to do exactly what the title of my lives says. Undifficult Your Life. For real. Now, I told you, there are only two attitudes that you can have, a negative attitude or a positive attitude. When you have a positive attitude, all kinds of good things happen to you. Portals open up to you. Doors, windows, everything opens up to you. So I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. Now, you probably never heard that before, that you could actually see what a negative attitude looks like. I'm going to show you what a negative... Spirit gave this to me. Spirit gives me all this good stuff. I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like, okay? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Here's what a negative attitude looks like, y'all. These are the kind of people that say, woe is me. My life sucks. I can't stand this. I can't stand that. In the meantime, y'all, what my hands are doing, these are positive elements that are constantly flying through the universe. Constantly, y'all. Flying through the universe. But these people, negative people who say, woe is me, my life sucks, I can't stand this, complain, complain, complain. These positive elements, y'all, fly over the heads of everybody who has a negative attitude. Now, when you write that program, when you say out loud this program that you write, here are the words you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. On the count of 3, I'm going to show you what happens when you write that program and say it out loud and truly mean it. You have that choice. You choose to have a positive attitude. Now, repeat that. I'm going to repeat the program that you write. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. On the count of 3, I'm going to show you what happens when you write that program, when you say that out loud. 1, 2, 3. Here's what happens, y'all. You see, what was flying over your head is now making contact with your psyche. You see that? Did I illustrate that helpful hand visual to y'all clearly? Was I accurate? Did y'all get the point that I was making? The negative attitudes, all kinds of good stuff flies over your head. With the positive attitude, the good stuff makes contact. Come on, y'all, give me some responses. Did I convey that? Did I communicate that to the point where it came from my mind to y'all's mind effectively? Come on, give me some responses, y'all. Give me some responses. YouTube is saying I have 12 people on here. Now, okay, good. Angel, thank you so much. Any more responses? Did I communicate that clearly to anybody else? Okay. All right. Now, negative attitude, positive attitude. I coined this quote many lives ago. I've done over 500 TikTok lives, y'all. This is only my 5th YouTube live. I moved over from TikTok because they're implementing rules and stuff that I won't be able to follow, so I changed platforms. I'll still be on TikTok. I'll post to TikTok every day. I'm not going to abandon. I have over 54,000 followers on TikTok. I'm 81 years old, and it just blows my mind. I never dreamed that I would have 1,000 followers on any platform. But on my TikTok page, I post the comments that people make about the 4 pillars, about the advice that I share. And so it's on my page. So if you want to go over to TikTok, if you're not on TikTok, if you do want to go over there, I mean, if you are on TikTok, you want to go over there. My username is the letter J, JJ Fields, Fields, and the number 7. So go check it out. I've done over 500 TikTok lives. This is my 5th YouTube live, and I'm trying to grow my subscribership. Now here on YouTube, the subscription is free, but on TikTok, you had to pay. And so I had subscribers, but every Sunday I would do 2 videos for my subscribers only, and I felt like the 2 videos that I did for them helped to give them something for the fact that they were paying for a subscription, okay? So, yeah, and also subscriptions were getting more expensive, like Shelster said. So I didn't want that, no. So, but if I have 125 subscriber-only videos up, I don't know if you want to do that, but, you know, it costs, so, and now the subscriptions are going up. But that's fine if you still want to. The videos will be up forever, I guess, you know, as long as TikTok is in existence. So, but now back to pillar number 1. Develop and maintain a positive attitude. You can do that whenever you want to. From now on, the program that you write says, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. From now on, that means I don't care where your attitude was 5 minutes ago, yesterday, last week. I don't care where it was. If you make that program, if you write that program and make that statement out loud, from now on, now, you can choose to change your behavior, change your attitude anytime you choose to do so. You see, it's just that simple. Now, a lot of y'all don't know that you're leaning towards the negative attitude. I'm going to read you a list of words that will help you to identify people in your life who may have a negative attitude, and it could be you. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, I'm going to read these words, and they are words that kind of identify personality characteristics, personality traits. If you have any or all of these, it's never too late. You always have hope. You can change your attitude from negative to positive. Now, here are the words: anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment and holding grudges, lies and dishonesty, false pride, superiority, ego. back up to the top. The very first word is anger, y'all. Anger. Do you know people who are full of anger? People who are angry? Are you the one who is full of anger? Who is angry? That is negative. How about resentment and holding grudges? Do you know people who are full of resentment? People who hold grudges? Are you the one who is full of resentment, who holds grudges? That is negative. I'm coming back up to it, but I'm going to move on to lies and dishonesty. Do you know people who lie? People who are dishonest? Are you the one who lies? Who is dishonest? That is negative. Back up to resentment and holding grudges. That's a big one these days. I think it's been a big one always. When you are full of resentment, when you hold grudges against other people, I'm going to tell you something that you may not have ever heard before. And that is, you are living in the past. You understand that? You are living in the past if you're holding on to that. It happened. There is nothing that the people that did that to you can do about it to change it. There is nothing that you can do about it to change it. It happened. Nothing can be done to change it. You must forgive them. You must forgive. You're not punishing them by holding the resentment, holding grudges. You're not punishing them. You're punishing you. That's the way it works, y'all. I call all of these things the uglies. Anger, resentment, lying, regret, guilt. All of those things are the uglies. And the uglies do damage to the person who holds on to them. The only way you can undamage your soul and your spirit, if you are holding on to resentment and holding grudges against other people, the only way you can relieve yourself of that burden. I call it an invisible burden, an internal burden on your soul, on your spirit. The only way it can be relieved is that you must forgive. Doesn't matter who it was, doesn't matter what the offense was, doesn't matter. A lot of people on my lives will say, and what if it was this, or what if it was that? It doesn't matter, y'all. That's a total absolute. Doesn't matter who it was or what they did or said. You must forgive them. People will tell you to forgive and forget. Hell to the no. You never, ever forget. But you must forgive. But you don't forget. You keep it on the stove, on the back burner. That way it won't happen to you again. But don't forget, no kind of way do you ever forget. You would be a fool to do that. Don't forgive and forget. So, forgive, but never forget. Now, I'm 81 years old. When I was a kid, there was no such thing as a text message. There was no such thing as email or a video call. So you can forgive by any of those technologies now that y'all have. Oh, by the way, when you do forgive, it does not mean you go back into their lives or you welcome them back into yours. It means that you forgive them. But if it's a mutual thing, you want to go back into their lives and you want them to come back into, then that's fine. But it's totally fine. It is also totally fine if you don't ever want anything else to do with them. Perfectly fine, okay? Forgive them and have nothing else to do with them. That's perfectly fine. Now, like I was saying, all of these technologies y'all have available to you. You can use any of those to forgive somebody. But if you don't ever want to have anything else to do with them in your entire life, you can forgive by saying it out loud to the universe. Yes, you can. You heard? Yes, you can. Now, I preface this by saying this here. Now, the universe was there when the mess happened to you. You understand? Whatever you call your higher power, the universe, I call God and the universe, it's the same to me. When I say the universe, I'm talking about God. When I say God, I'm talking about the universe. Hey, Michael. And so you can call whatever your higher power is, it was there when the mess happened to you. You understand? It was there. So all you have to do is say it out loud to the universe. It knows. Now, I also say this, and it kind of brings my viewers up short because it brings it to their consciousness. Do you understand? Do you realize? Do you know that God, the universe, or whatever you call your higher power, sees everything that you do right now, hears everything that you say right now, can read your thoughts right now? Think about that. Now, when I say that, it brings it into a lot of people's consciousness that the higher power sees everything we do, hears everything we say, and can read our thoughts. Who do you think gave you the mind anyway? Okay? So, it kind of shakes a lot of people up. Now, did it shake anybody up right here that the higher power sees everything you do right now, hears everything you say right now, reads your thoughts right now? Come on, give me some responses. It says I got 13 people on here now. Come on, give me some responses. Did that shake anybody up, and did that make you gonna want to straighten up and fly right? Okay, yeah, Michael. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Come on, y'all. Anybody else? YouTube says I got 17 people on here now. Did that statement shake y'all up? When I made that statement, the higher power, or whatever you call your higher power, God, the universe, sees everything. Hey, Dead Cool Shorts, sees everything you do, hears everything you say. First time watching, I love your voice and words, but okay, doesn't matter. See, you don't believe in any higher power. That's fine. But something gives you the ability to breathe. Okay, so I don't understand atheists, because something gives you the ability to breathe. You don't give yourself that ability. So, but to each his own. I respect that. But now, that's what I'm saying. The higher power, or whatever you call it, not concerning to me since I found it. Okay, that's fine. And sees everything you do right now, hears everything you say right now, and reads your thoughts right now. Like I said, who do you think gave you your mind? Okay, think about that. Where did your mind come from? You? Okay, so now, what I'm saying to you is this. You can forgive by saying it out loud to the universe. It was there when it happened to you. It knows. Here's how you forgive by saying it out loud to the universe. And I'm going to give you 4 examples of what has happened on my past lives, on my TikTok lives. It hasn't happened so far. This is only my 5th YouTube live, okay? So here's what you say in order to forgive by talking to the universe. You ain't got to say nothing to them, to the people who you're forgiving. I was trying to think of who created or committed the offense. Okay, so here's what you say. Universe, I forgive so-and-so for doing such and such to me. I'm going to repeat that. Now, you use your hand as well, like I'm doing. That symbolizes touching the universe, touching spirit, okay? Here, I'm going to repeat it. Universe, I forgive so-and-so for doing such and such to me. Say that out loud. I have 4 examples to share with y'all. The first one was a young lady. She said, I forgave my dad like that. And I immediately burst into tears. The second young lady, she said, and these are, I posted on my TikTok page. She said, I forgave myself. And I immediately burst into tears. And you can forgive yourself as well, you see? So the third one was a young man. And he said he forgave. And he felt a shift in his spirit. You see? Now, the reason why the 2 young ladies broke down in tears after forgiving, one was her dad and one was herself, and the young man said that he felt a shift in his spirit after he forgave. The reason why is I told y'all that when you hold on to resentment and you hold grudges against other people, that creates an internal, invisible burden on your spirit, on your soul. You're carrying it. Now, people who hold resentment inside and hold grudges against other people, in a whole lot of cases, not all, but in a whole lot of cases, these people are in failing health. They're on medications, pharmaceutical medications. They're not aging well. You know, it takes its toll. Holding unforgiveness, holding grudges against other people takes its toll on you. Now, the Shelster calls it a pressure release valve. When you forgive, and I have that one more example I want to share with y'all. When you forgive, it causes this pressure release valve to be released. And it goes, psst. All of that stuff just vanishes. That's why the 2 young ladies broke down in tears. That's why the young man felt a shift in his spirit. It actually releases the pressure that you didn't even know was there, but you were carrying it. And it affected your attitude, it affected your health, it affected your appearance. You see? So look around y'all, look around you at people that you know for a fact are full of resentment and carrying grudges. In a lot of cases, they are on pharmaceutical medications, all kinds of stuff. It can affect your health. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you don't release unforgiveness, if you don't release all that ugliness, it can and probably will affect your health. It must be released. So now the 4th example, now the 4th example is Patricia. Her name's Patricia. I've done over 500 lives, Jesse. So, TikTok lives. So I love doing these lives. I have something to say, and you might want to listen, okay? Now, rewinding, y'all. The 4th example, see, I got it back. The 4th example is a young lady by the name of Patricia. She had been holding a grudge against her mother for over 40 years. Over 40 years. That's over 40 years worth of birthdays, Mother's Days, all of that. She forgave her mother. She had been watching my lives for days or weeks or whatever, and she forgave her mother. They spent this past Mother's Day together. She came up on my live, on my TikTok live, as a guest, and it's on my page. And she shared with us that they spent Mother's Day together this past May, and it just warmed my heart when she came up with that message. With that, it was just such a good experience for her, and it really warmed my heart. I got so full. But that is what happens. It's powerful when you forgive. Like I said, you don't have to let them back in your life, and you don't have to go back into theirs. But forgive them. They can't do anything to change it. You can't do anything to change it. Thank you, Glomp. I appreciate that. I got to take a screenshot of that. Okay. Now, so you have to forgive them. That is the only way that you're going to experience some relief. So, don't carry grudges. Now, nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time. Nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. I'm going to ask y'all a question. Now, I only want responses that state no. If you have been on my lives before, you already know the answers and you know what this is all about. So here's the question for the people who have not been on my lives before, and also for people who will respond no. Here's the question. Do you know that you live your life by a ratio? RATIO, a ratio. Do you know that you live your life by a ratio? I'm going to explain what it is, and I'm going to explain how you use it. Okay, give me some responses, y'all. Let me know if you know that you live your life by a ratio. Like I said, nobody is 100% positive attitude. Nobody is 100% negative attitude. You live your life by a ratio. And if you didn't know that you live your life by a ratio, you probably lean towards the negative. You see? Now I'm going to explain to you what a ratio is and how you can use it. Come on, give me some responses. Give me some responses. Do you know that you live your life by a ratio? Yep, that's it. But I'm going to clarify it even more than just the word balance, okay? Okay, I'm only looking for no responses, Angel. Only looking for no responses. Because I want to share what a ratio is with people who don't know. And a lot of people are not responding, but they probably don't know. So I'm going to just tell you, I'll still be looking for responses to come in. Do you know that you live your life by a ratio? RATIO. Now, I'm still looking for responses to come in. Now, what a ratio is, a ratio is a simple tool that you control, and it's controlled only by you. Okay, that's okay, Angel. And it is adjustable. If you set your ratio too high, you can lower it. If you set your ratio too low, you can raise it, you see? But it is controllable only by you. What a ratio is, it is a very simple tool that will definitely, I said will definitely, not maybe, it will definitely help you to better control your life. I'm going to repeat that. A ratio is a very simple tool that will definitely help you to better control your life. My ratio is 80-20 in relationship to a positive attitude, negative attitude. Mine is 80-20. I don't own it. You can use it as well, 80-20. Some people on my lives have chosen 75-25, 60-40, or whatever. Like I said, you can adjust it. If you set it too low, you can raise it. If you set it too high, you can lower it. So now, my ratio is 80-20. 80% positive, 20% negative. Nobody can be 100% either. Back over to the positive. 80% of the time, I am very happy being in the positive attitude mode. 20% of the time, I didn't say I was happy, you see that? I can be okay in the negative attitude mode. Now back over to the positive attitude mode. 80% of the time, I honor the programs that I write. 80% of the time, I do what is fair, what is right, what is honest, what is considerate, what is tolerant, what is patient, all of those positive things. That's what I do 80% of the time. 20% of the time, I can be in that negative attitude mode, but that negative attitude mode can never include physical abuse. You cannot hit people. You cannot throw things. It cannot include verbal abuse. You cannot cuss anybody out. You cannot insult anybody. And the third one is, thanks to one of my viewers, one of my TikTok viewers, her username is Midnight. She asked me to include tone of voice, and I was very happy to do so because it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. So it can never include, when you're in that negative attitude portion of your ratio, it can never include a negative tone of voice. It ain't what you say, it's how you say it, okay? So that is the way you use your ratio. Tell me if that can help you to better control your life. Come on, give me some responses. I wish that y'all would be quicker about giving me some responses because I'm running out of time, you see. I do a 90-minute live Monday through Friday. Join me Monday through Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific time. And I usually go 90 minutes, 95 sometimes, occasionally past 95, but occasionally. So come on, give me some responses, y'all. Did I convey that to the point where y'all know that you can use your ratio to better control your life? Come on, y'all. Give me some responses. Give me some responses, y'all. I'm just waiting a few more seconds because I'm running out of time. Okay. This has helped me. Yes, I will be 80% good and 20% bad. Oh, I'm going to give you another explanation for how you use it too, Z. Yeah, that's great. Glad to hear that. Okay. Anybody else? Other than Z? Anybody else? Give me some responses. Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks, Shells. Yeah. Okay. Now, that's 80-20. That's my ratio. Doesn't belong to me. Anybody can use it. I'm just glad to see somebody else going to use it. Now, I'm thinking here. I got a lot to share with y'all. Okay. Now, you can write a program to change any behavior that you have. You have. You cannot change other people's behaviors, you see? So, you can write a program to change any behavior that you have. And I'm going to show you by example. It's not a true example. I'm going to tell you that now. Here is the scenario. And I'm going to tell you the program that I will write to overcome the scenario or the behavior. Okay, that's a better word. Here's the behavior, and I'm going to tell you how I write the program to overcome the behavior. See? Okay, now. It's not a true behavior of mine. Okay, now, I'm only using it for example, for illustration purposes, okay? Here's the behavior. I eat 12 cookies every day. Not true. I don't want to eat 12 cookies every day. Here is the program that I write. I eat 12 cookies every day. I do not want to eat 12 cookies every day. Starting tomorrow, I will eat 10 cookies. Now, tomorrow comes and you eat 10 cookies. The next days, weeks, whatever they come, and you're still eating 10 cookies. That ratio, my ratio, 80-20, that means that 80% of the time, I will honor my program that I wrote. I will eat 10 cookies, 80% of the time. 20% of the time, that's my mess up area, okay? I can go back up to 11. I can even go back up to 12. But you see, because I wrote the program, it'll make me feel kind of weird or funny about violating my own program. Most of the you see, most of the time I will honor the program. 80% of the time I'll honor the program, and I'm all right with that. You know, so 20% of the time I can mess up. I can go back up to 11, but you will hardly ever go back up to 11 or 12 if you hang tough with your program. You get it? Come on, give me some responses. Did I explain that? Ah, okay, so you're 80-20. Yeah, so you're 80-20. You can still go up to 12. Good, I'm glad, Michael. Thank you for responding. I kind of want to eat 12 cookies tomorrow. Yeah, you can go up to 12, but don't do it too frequently. That's how your ratio helps you to control your life. You see? Now y'all got that, I think. All right, now here's another piece. Nobody should be allowed to disturb your peace. That includes your mama. Nobody should be allowed to disturb your peace. Now, Spirit came to me in the month of June, in the month of June, and said, Joyce, there is such a thing as outer peace as well as inner peace. I said, huh? I'd never heard of outer peace before. Spirit explained it to me. Inner peace is stitched into your fabric of your soul. It cannot be disturbed. It cannot be destroyed. That's inner peace. Once you get it, and you can only get it by having a positive attitude. Inner peace will not come to you if you have a negative attitude. It's not, okay? So, inner peace can never be destroyed. It can never be disturbed. It's sewn into the fabric of your very soul once you get it. Outer peace can be disturbed. It can be destroyed. Outer peace, for example, is like you're studying or you're trying to sleep. Those are the two examples I always use, so you can relate to that. And somebody's making noises in the next room, downstairs, across the hall, across the street, or whatever. There's actually a law in the police world, I guess you call it, disturbing the peace. You can actually call the cops on somebody that's disturbing the peace. So that's outer peace. You see? Inner peace can never be destroyed or disturbed. Once you get it, you lock on to it. Nothing rocks your world because you have inner peace. Nothing. Anger and all of that stuff, they go away from you when you have inner peace. There's no need for all of this other stuff, this ugly stuff, when you have inner peace. So now, if anybody in your family, and it's usually your family members, is disturbing your peace, that's your outer peace, you must tell them. You can say words to like this. You always have to use kindness. You always have to use diplomacy. Ugliness does not work. And I hope that we've seen enough of that in this world. And all of y'all on my live here, I would like to think y'all want to do things to contribute to making the world a better place. And these 4 pillars that I share with y'all will do things to help you to make the world a better place. They don't cost you 1 penny. Not a cent do they cost. 4 pillars. And I'm going to repeat those 4 pillars for those who have come on recently. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. And that's where I am right now. I'm talking about how you develop and maintain a positive attitude. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. See, if you develop and maintain a positive attitude, the world would be a better place. If more people did that, don't you agree? If more people increased their level of patience, that's pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If more people did that, Don't you think that the world would be a better place? Don't you agree? Pillar number 3, if more people stayed calm, that's pillar number 3. Stay calm. And if more people stayed calm, don't you agree that the world would be a better place? Yes. Then pillar number 4 is remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration. And I'll tell you those 4 words when I get to the 4th pillar. But if people are lowering their stress, anxiety, panic, and all of that ugly stuff, don't you think that the world would be a better place? These 4 pillars that I share will help y'all to undifficult your life. That's the title of my lives. So now, anytime anybody in your family is disturbing your peace, remember, I remember where I was. You have to deal with that in a positive way, diplomatic, kind, all of that. Here's what you say, words to this effect. I love y'all dearly. I love y'all dearly. But when y'all say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Or when y'all do such and such, that disturbs my peace. Tell them that. You are obligated to tell anybody that's disturbing your peace that they are disturbing your peace by what they're saying or doing. You're obligated to say that for your own well-being. Now, they are not obligated to change their behavior, you see? But you are obligated to tell them. Now, if they don't change their behavior, give them enough time to see if they're going to. But if they don't, then that gives you the obligation to come back at them and say, I give y'all 3 options. This is what I'm telling y'all. I give y'all 3 options for what you can say. Option 1, I have to protect my peace. That's not the option, though. Okay, I'm just saying you must protect your peace. And so that's why I give y'all 3 options. So option 1 is I have to feed y'all with a long-handled spoon. Option 2 is I have to love y'all from a distance. Option 3 is I have to stop coming around y'all. You see? No, you can't tell people to fix your outer peace. Outer peace can be disturbed. You just don't you don't need to get upset by disturbing your outer peace. Don't get upset by anything. You should allow nothing to anger you to the point where you lose control. Nothing. Okay. Now, those are the 3 options. If you come up with another one, that's fine. But you should never allow anybody to disturb your peace, and that's your outer peace. Your inner peace can never be disturbed. Once you have a positive attitude and you lock on to a positive attitude, inner peace will come. You can get inner peace then, okay? So now, if it's your mama that's disturbing your peace, she shouldn't be allowed to disturb your peace either. And I'm going to tell you how you diplomatically, lovingly, kindly react to and respond to her. Now, this is all after you wrote that program, y'all. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And I don't care where your attitude was 5 minutes ago, yesterday, or whatever. When you make that statement out loud, from now on, that means from this point forward, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. You see? So, after you write that program and say it out loud, and here's your mama disturbing your peace, you're going to understand what I'm saying now. Here you are coming in, getting your peace disturbed. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it, y'all. Now, you tell your mama, Mama, I love you dearly. But when you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Or when you do such and such, that disturbs my peace. Now, some mamas would say, what peace? Or some mamas would say, you ain't got no peace. Be that as it may, that's mama. Leave her alone. But when you made that statement, that wrote that program, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude, you raised your frequency. You raised your vibration. You are now up here. Your mama is still down here doing what she does to disturb your peace, but you are no longer down here receiving it. You are on a higher vibration. You are on a higher frequency, you see? And it doesn't bother you. You are now able to look at that behavior of hers and not be bothered by it. Don't allow anybody to rattle your chain, to disturb your peace. Don't allow them that. You give people, other people, too much power over you. Don't allow that to happen. Raise your vibration. Raise your frequency. That's all you have to do. Step out of that area that you are in. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of that. Step out of it. Move your feet. Yes. Oh, yeah, most definitely. You can, inner peace is not disturbable. Okay? So, now that is peace. Now, here is a negative attitude, y'all. Negative attitude. Wonderful. Thank you, Z. This is you in the form of inner peace, in the form of spirit. Here you come in the form of inner peace and spirit. Look at this. You're knocking to get in. But now you see, I really believe that you really won't even be knocking to get in because this is a negative attitude. So it goes away. Inner peace and spirit go away. Here's a positive attitude. Positive attitude, y'all. You can see what's going to happen. Here comes you as inner peace, as spirit. Not only do you get through, you turn and encase the whole body. That's what happens when you develop and maintain a positive attitude. Inner peace and spirit will come to you. Think about it. This is you in the form of inner peace, in the form of spirit. Would you land on a person who has a negative attitude? This is you. You're just flitting around. Spirit and inner peace. I sure wouldn't. I wouldn't land on anybody that has a negative attitude. Would you? Yeah, see, Michael? You would. No. You wouldn't land on somebody that has a negative attitude. Would anybody else other than Michael? Would you land on a person that has a negative attitude? How about you, Z? I'm actually a troll, but you have cured me. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I have had trolls apologize. I have had trolls apologize. Because what I say to trolls is this, and I get them on every live that I do. It doesn't reflect on me. It doesn't hurt me. It reflects on you. You know, that's a very sad existence to intentionally want to insult somebody, want to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm above all of that. You know, I live the advice that I share with y'all. Nothing anybody can say will make me angry or hurt my feelings, you know? Well, maybe hurt my feelings momentarily because it would have to come from someone that I wouldn't expect to hurt my feelings, okay? What if you are not negative but do get annoyed, angry? Oh, you got to be negative to get annoyed and angry. You got to be. You can't separate those. Okay, all right. Yeah, so. But yeah, just listen, Z. Just listen to what I have to say. It will help you to undifficult your life. It will help you to make your life a lot better. Oh yeah, but y'all try to make things fit. You can't make things fit, you see. So now somebody said, what if you are not negative but do get annoyed and angry? You can't get angry. If you're negative, you get angry. If you're angry, you're negative. That's it. Those are the words. I read you the words. Maybe you weren't on when I did that, but at any rate. Now, that is pillar number one. Develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I told y'all how you do that. You write a program. You write a program by saying it out loud. And here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. That's what you do from now on. Okay. So now, I always, after I finish pillar number 1, I always read an excerpt from one of the 11 fabulous nonfiction books at goodshortbooks.com. And yesterday I read an excerpt from, I told you, y'all, that me and Pap, that's my man's name. His real name is Fred. Pap, P-A-P. That's what I call him. And so everybody calls him that. Now, we have been together for 68 years. You heard that correctly, 68 years. And we've been married. We just celebrated our 58th wedding anniversary, 58 years of marriage on June 3rd. Now, we've been together since we were both 13 years old. And in 1957, I was 13 years old. And the females in our village, and we really did have a village, y'all, would tell us, would educate us on what to do and what not to do, what to say and what not to say in relationships. So, oh yeah, you're not perfect. No, nobody is. So, I didn't write this book. The book is entitled, The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, among other things. It's 64 pages. It's $9.99 at goodshortbooks.com, and the link is in my profile. I wrote it in 2008 because the females in our village told us how to do in relationships. In 2008, I was observing the females doing and saying things that we were told not to do and say. And for instance, like they were embarrassing their man in public, saying things that only should be said in private and stuff like that. And just the words that y'all say are putting them on Front Street. That's what y'all say. Y'all call it that. Or something. It's all insulting. So now I wrote this book because, and I wrote it for like 15, 16-year-olds and up who are just starting out with relationships. And it also is a good book for same-sex relationships as well. The title is The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, among other things. If I had to retitle it, it would be The Best Way to Keep a Relationship Healthy is to let the other person go, among other things. So it's good for same-sex relationships as well. And I wrote it because let him go doesn't mean what these young ladies seem to think it means these days. It means, and I'll read the third paragraph. Oh, by the way, take heed, page 2. This says take heed. Based on my 50 plus years of observation, and it's now 60 plus years of observation, I would say that 80% of the success of a relationship rests on the shoulders of the woman. This book explains why. And so the third paragraph in the introduction explains why I say, or what I mean when I say let him go. And men are buying this book too, y'all, because I think they want to know what I'm saying to the ladies. And a man by the name of Rasul Griffin, he bought it and read it, and he calls it a masterpiece. That's what he said. That's his word. Now, the third paragraph in the introduction says, this tells you what I mean by let him go. Let him go doesn't mean don't care. It means be secure enough within yourself that you don't freak out if he's not with you and you don't know exactly where he is. Let him go means don't try to control where he can go or what time he must leave or return. Let him go means don't try to control him, period. Let him go means don't try so hard to change him. After you have paid your dues, you may tread lightly in this area, but be careful. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. In addition to letting him go, I have observed the need for and used other philosophies and behaviors to help keep me and my man in a warm, loving, and peaceful relationship. My thinking was, he may go, but he'll always come home if I make coming home worth it. But what kinds of things can I do to make it worth coming home? Well, and then I go into the book. Now, one of the things that I want to say to young ladies, and please pass the word, stop watching these chick flicks, these romance movies, and stop reading these romance books. I used to read them too. I'm 81 years old. When I was 14, 15, 16, I read that junk as well. And let me tell you something. That's all it is junk. It's total BS. And these movies are the same. When that movie, if it says romance, scroll past it. What these movies do, they do not set up females for successful relationships. They don't. Now, they don't have movies like that for men. So, and they don't have books like that for men. And they don't have magazines like that for men. They got girly magazines, okay? But they don't have true romance stuff, stories and all that for men. And we as females are handed a whole bunch of total BS. That's all it is. That is not the way that relationships work. Now, there is a chapter in The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, and it's entitled Fantasy versus Reality. The first paragraph, romance novels and magazines taught us that men are knights in shining armor. We can expect them to be sensitive, romantic, suave, punctual, attentive, patient, unselfish, observant. A passage might go something like this in these magazines, okay? Mary had spent the whole day preparing for Tom's return from work. His shirts were washed and ironed, the house was clean, and dinner was ready. It was 5:22 when she heard Tom's key in the door. He was always home before 6. She rushed to the door to greet him. That is total BS. That's what we read, and that's what we fantasized on. So don't make that mistake, y'all. Stop watching these girly, these chick flicks. That's what Pap calls them, these chick flicks. No, I read that part, so I'm not going. I don't have time. That's why. I only have 90 minutes here, and I hardly have time to share the stuff that I want to share in the 90 minutes. So that is fantasy versus reality. I'm asking y'all, the females, to please stop by going and see these movies. It's 57, whatever, 57 Bridesmaids and the Cinderella, all this mess. It's just BS. They set females up for failure in relationships because we are fantasizing and we expect that fantasy to come true. It doesn't work that way. So, 80%. Yeah, good. I'm glad you understand, Z. So now, pillar number 2. Now, pillar number 1, I already finished. Develop and maintain a positive attitude. And the way you do it is you write a program and you say it out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. That's what you say. And then put your feet on that path to develop and maintain that positive attitude. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you're 10 years old or older, I will tell you exactly how you do that. But I always start with the toddlers. Teaching the toddler patience is easy. When that toddler asks for a cookie, tell that toddler, I'll give it to you in 5 minutes. Put yourself on the timer. Give that toddler that cookie in 5 minutes. Do that several times. 5 minutes. Still on the timer. Use the timer all the way through this exercise that I'm telling you about. Stretch it to 10 minutes. Do that several times, all the way through to an hour or more. Not only will you be teaching that toddler patience, you will also be teaching that toddler how to wait, how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. And that is something that will be in that toddler's bones and its blood, all of that. That toddler will have grown up with that. Now, Spirit gave me an idea that I'm going to tell y'all how you can teach yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Now, you need a piece of paper and something to write with, so I'm going to count to 10 and give you time to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? On that piece of paper, write down whatever time it is right now. No matter what your time zone is, write down the time it is. Put the paper away and then wait. Well, I don't care how long. You decide whatever amount of time you want. Then try to guess what time, guess what time it is at that point. Do that for several times every day. And I do it all day long. I don't need paper or anything to write with, and you won't need it either when you keep practicing that. You will teach yourself how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. You will no longer look at the clock and jump. You look at the clock. Oh, it's you will feel elapsed time. You will know approximately what time it is in your own head. Teach yourself that. Now, if you are 10 years old or older, you can teach yourself how to increase your own level of patience. How do you do that, you ask? Write a program. Say it out loud. Whatever programs you write, you say them out loud. People around you may want to do the same thing. Now, of course, if it's something personal and private, no, you don't say it out loud. Or you don't say it when somebody else is around. You still say it out loud, but maybe you can say it out loud when you're by yourself, okay? So, you write that program, and if it's something that you are fiending for, make yourself wait. If it's something that you normally would give yourself immediate gratification for, make yourself wait. Excuse me, I got to get some water. Make yourself wait. That's the way you teach yourself patience. Excuse me. This is water with lemon and ginger. It's very tasty. Make yourself wait. Now, if it's something that you normally would give yourself immediate gratification, then that really is a reason to make yourself wait. And if you make yourself wait past the point where you don't want it anymore, fabulous, because it tells you that you were stronger than it was. You always were. Okay, that's good, Z. So make yourself wait. That's the way you teach yourself patience. Increase your level of patience. Now, pillar number 3, stay calm. There is tremendous power in the ability to stay calm, y'all. You lose your power when you become angry, frustrated, aggravated. You lose your power. You lose your verve to be in the mix, to get things done, to get it accomplished. Anger, frustration, and aggravation, all of those things zap you. They force you into a higher spiritual thing where you're just going nuts. So stop doing that. Stay calm. There is power in calmness. Spirit came to me and told me to use this helpful hand visual. Spirit gives me all of my helpful hand visuals. So now, here is when you are calm, your neurons, Spirit told me to use the word neurons too. I had never used the word neurons, but I knew that neurons were part of your brain. So here's what your neurons are doing when you are calm. They're just calmly, smoothly gliding past each other, communicating with each other. You see? This is when you are calm. Calm. Here's what happens to you when you're angry. Your neurons, those same neurons, now, look, when you are angry, you see? That's what happens. Now, that was during my live at between 4 and 5:15 a.m. Later on that evening, Spirit came back to me and said, look up what neurons do. Here's my hand, honest to goodness. Spirit came back to me and said, look up what neurons do. I obeyed. I was astonished. I was amazed. I was outdone. But I obeyed. So I Googled it. And here's what Google said neurons do. Neurons work together to produce memories, make decisions, and compute information. They take chemical signals, transport them, and form new wiring within the brain. Neurons also help different parts of the brain to communicate with each other. That's what neurons do. So that's why you cannot think straight when you're angry, aggravated, or anything like that. That's why you cannot make choices when you are angry or any other ugly stuff. That's why you can't make good decisions. You see? Your neurons are doing this. They're not communicating with each other. That means they're not communicating with you. You own them. So the next time you get angry, remember your neurons. Think about what your neurons are doing. So there's power in calmness. Stay calm. That's pillar number 3. Then pillar number 4 is remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, or whatever ugliness is inside of you. Those 4 words are, this too shall pass. This too shall pass, y'all. This too shall pass. No situation is permanent. No scenario is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Not even us as human beings. We use the word pass when we're talking about death. We'll say he passed last month. She passed yesterday. Nothing is permanent, y'all. So the next time your mama is chewing you out, or the next time your daddy is chewing you out, they cannot read your mind. Sit there or stand there and get chewed out and be thinking, this too shall pass. She ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. Or this too shall pass. He ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. You see? This too shall pass. Those words will help you get through anything peacefully, without anger, without aggravation, without any ugliness. Remember, this too shall pass. Nothing lasts. So I want y'all to implement the 4 pillars in your life. I want y'all to undifficult your life with the advice that I share. Pillar number 1, the 4 pillars. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. I told y'all how you do that. You do it by writing a program. You write a program, you say it out loud. Here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. It's just that simple. I don't care where your attitude was 5 minutes ago. You make that statement out loud. From now on, that means from this point forward, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. I told you exactly how you do that if you are 10 years old or older. but I started with the toddlers. I told you how you teach patience to a toddler by using a timer and making that toddler wait. It will be in their blood that it's a blessing to have a patient toddler. Then if you're 10 years old or older, I told you exactly how you can increase your own level of patience by writing a program, saying it out loud, saying, or whatever, whoever's around you, say it out loud. They'll be saying, "Ooh, I'd be interested to know how you do that." So here's what you say. I am teaching myself patience. I am teaching myself how to wait. And when other people hear that, they'll probably say, I would sure like to know how you do that. So tell them, make yourself wait, especially if it's something you're fiending for. Make yourself wait. You will be victorious if you want to be. Okay, so now that's pillar number 2. Pillar number 3 is to stay calm. Remember your neurons. I told you what happens. When you are angry, your neurons go nuts inside of your head. That's good. That's good. That's what's going to happen to you now, Z. So, Z, you got to time out because I don't have time to interact with people on my live because I got to spread the advice that I have, okay? I hope you understand that. So, now, pillar number 3, make your, stay calm. Okay, stay calm. That's what I want to do. Stay calm. You got to remember your neurons, okay? So, now, pillar number 4, remember the 4 words, no apology necessary, that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, all of that ugly stuff that can be inside of you. And those 4 words are, this too shall pass. You got that? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm hoping that y'all will implement these 4 pillars in your life. And, oh, good. Thank you, Michael. And undifficult your life. Live a virtually stress-free life. It's not going to be stress-free totally. Some stress is good. Some stress will get you motivated, you see? So use stress in positive ways, not in negative ways to down others or to down yourself or do anything like that. So I appreciate y'all joining my live, and I hope that y'all will spread the word that Joyce Fields gives advice that you can live by. You can change your whole world. When you have a positive attitude, everything opens up to you. Now, I want to thank y'all for joining my live, and I sure hope that you will implement the 4 pillars in your life. Now, I close my lives with this book, My Simple Quotes to Live By. It's 90 pages. It's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. It's 167 quotes that I coined. And I coined my first quote when I was 15 years old. I'm 81 now. That quote states, never lose your hope and faith. I'm going to repeat it. Never lose your hope and faith. I coined this, my first quote, in 1959 at the age of 15. The occasion was my middle school graduation from Detroit's Girard Junior High School. 9th graders were asked to document their message to their fellow classmates. That's what I said. I don't remember saying it, and I didn't know that I was coining a quote. But that quote has carried me through from the 15 to 81. And I'll still be using it till the day I die. Now I'm going to read y'all a quote that I coined. I do remember coining it, and I do know that it was a quote, coining a quote. So this was in 2011 or 13, and it was for a quote contest for a calendar. So they needed 12 quotes. I coined this quote, and then I submitted it to the contest, and it won as, I'm going to take a screenshot of Michael's comment. This is some good advice. Yeah, Pap will like that. Thank you, Michael. It won as one of 12 out of over 5,000 entries. It was 12 for the calendar, you see. So I post this quote to social media, and I want to encourage people to chase their dreams. Here's the quote. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. I'm going to repeat it. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. Chase your dreams, people. Chase your dreams. Nobody can see your dream as clearly as you can, and you can't see anybody else's dream as clearly as they can. So don't allow anybody to poo-poo your dream, and don't you poo-poo anybody else's dream. But do chase your dream. And sometimes it's dreams. You can chase them. I'm going to repeat the quote. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. Now, the way this book is formatted, y'all, it's 90 pages, $7.99, but the format is 2 quotes per page. The quotes are in all caps, separated by a black and white picture. 90 pages, but this is what's on page 90. The end. Okay. Okay. Now, this book, you're going to give me some page numbers, pages 6 to 89. See, that's what's on page 90. So throw out some page numbers, y'all, and I will read. Oh, thanks for your subscription. I will read the 2 quotes on that page. I'm going to go until 5:35, so I got 3 minutes left. In the meantime, I want y'all to adopt these 4 pillars in your life. Pillar number, page 55. Let me take a screenshot of that. Page 55 for Z. At the top of page 55, good deeds require no payment, just appreciation. At the bottom of page 55, if you put yourself in others' shoes, you'll change. Can y'all live by those quotes? Give me some more page numbers, y'all. Okay, give me some more page numbers. Z, I got yours. I did yours, so give me some more people, some more page numbers. Okay. All right, so now I want y'all to implement the 4 pillars. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. I told you how you do that. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you're 10 years old or older, I told you exactly how you do that. But I always started with the toddlers, and I told you how you increase your level of patience, or how you teach patience to a toddler. Pillar number 3 is to stay calm. I told y'all to stay calm. I told you what your neurons are doing. Okay, page 20 for Michael. And then pillar number 4, remember the 4 words. This too shall pass. They will eliminate anger, well, decrease it anyway. Anger, frustration, panic, and all of that. Page 20 for Michael. At the top of page 20, ignorance of history is ignorance of self. At the bottom of page 20, what can you do to make the world a better place? Okay. Can y'all live by those quotes that I just recited? This book is 90 pages, and it's full of 167 quotes that I coined. And I coined my first quote when I was 15 years old. Didn't even know I was coining a quote, but I have since coined quotes all the time. A quote is liable to pop out of my mouth at any point. So I love quotes because they say a whole lot in so few words. So that's what I love about them. They're very profound. Any more page numbers, y'all? Okay, I want to thank you for joining my live. And this is my last live for this week. I'll be back on Monday at 4 a.m. Pacific. Pass the word, y'all. I'm trying to build my subscribers.
Goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile, Z, but it is on Amazon. It's Barnes and Noble, I think most places where books are sold. But it is on Amazon. But the link is in my profile. So thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Shells. Appreciate everybody. Have a good weekend and use those 4 pillars. Please use the 4 pillars to make your life a lot better. You're very welcome. Okay, y'all. Thanks for joining, and I'll be back Monday at 4 a.m. Pacific. Spread the word, y'all. Spread the word. Later.